Hey friends, welcome to Snack Lab. Today we're doing my all-time favorite cookie. It's the oatmeal peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. This is 10 times better than a regular chocolate chip cookie. Now my butter is starting to get too softened, so let's get this started. All right, so I got 1 cup of flour here. We're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of oats, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then half a teaspoon of baking powder. Mix this up. Get everybody incorporated. And now we'll set this aside till later. All right, so I got 1.5 sticks of butter here. I'm gonna cut up into little tablespoon size chunks into the stand mixer. I let this sit out for half an hour. That's gonna vary depending on how hot your kitchen is. It's about 80,000 degrees in my house. Mix this on a little low medium speed, just for like 30 seconds. So now I'm gonna add half a cup of peanut butter. I'm just gonna guesstimate because actually putting it into a measuring cup and measuring is not ideal. The mess has not been made. I don't know if it's Snack Lab. Just let that mix for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So now we'll add 3/4 cup of brown sugar, boom, and then just 1/4 cup of regular sugar. And then let the mixer do its thing for 2-ish minutes. Scrape it all down, just to make sure we aren't getting pockets of butter. It's getting nice and fluffy. All right, so I got 2 eggs and then my favorite, vanilla. Crack these in. Let that incorporate just for a second. Two eggs. Oh, and we'll add our vanilla. Now at this point we can let it mix for a lot longer just because there's eggs, and the eggs act like a shield for the butter and the sugar, because obviously you can overmix your butter and sugar, but at this point you can let it go for 5 to 7 minutes and you're good. All right, so this has been mixing for about 6 minutes and it's all light and fluffy. We're ready to go. Scrape the bowl, and I'm gonna add in my mix of oats, flours, and all of our dry ingredients that we do not want to overmix because gluten is, well, gluten's fine if you're making bread, but we're making cookies. You don't want tough cookies. But maybe we do, tough cookies are fun. All right, we'll let that mix just until it's incorporated because there's not that much. It shouldn't take long. Alrighty, that's all incorporated. Now I'm gonna add 1 cup of chocolate chips. I mean, you could add more if you want. I feel 1 is like a nice balance of chocolate to everything else going on in these cookies, but if you're chocolate crazy, go right ahead. Mix just for a few seconds. We just want to get everybody mixed in. So now this just has to go in the fridge for just a little bit because of all like the peanut butter and everybody and the oats, everything just keeps it scooped together, but just makes it easier to scoop into a ball and throw on a baking sheet. But if you're feeling impatient, throw the oven on 350 and roll them up in however big the ball you want. Throw them on a baking sheet. These take anywhere from 8 to 14 minutes depending on how big you make them. I'm gonna make these about 55 grams, so that's gonna be probably 12 minutes in the oven. But I'm gonna stick these in the fridge for just a wee bit, just to make it easier to roll, because this is a sticky mess. I'll be back. All right, so they've been hanging out in the freezer for about a half hour. That's enough to just firm them up and not make a sticky mess everywhere. That's why I do it. If you really don't want to wait, you don't have to. Or you just toss them in the fridge. Really, anything to chill them just for a few minutes just I think is worth the wait, just to make it easier and less of a mess. So now I've got the oven preheating to 350, parchment lined baking sheet, 9x13, if that makes a difference. I don't know, maybe you have a mini baking sheet, who knows? While I'm waiting to preheat, I'll just roll out the rest of my cookie dough balls because we all know I only bake like a third or a quarter of the batch and then I stick the rest in the freezer. So, you know, random afternoon, you want, you know, 2 oatmeal peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, you go, sweet, I'll preheat the oven to 350, toss them in, you know, 14 minutes later, warm, fresh cookies. Definitely worth it. Then you don't have to shove, because these are very filling with the peanut butter and the oatmeal, you don't have to shove them all in within 3 days before they start going bad. That's all I got. Let's roll some cookie dough balls. I'm aiming for 55-gram cookies this time. I tried 65 last time and I felt they were just a wee bit too big. I'm hoping 55 is like a nice medium cookie. All right, so the oven hit 350. I rolled these out, stuck them back in the freezer just to optimize our freezing time. Just gonna lay these out. I'm gonna smush them down just a wee bit because normally these stay like giant balls just because, like I said, that fat to dry, you know, dry ingredient ratio is pretty low. Now these are ready to go in the oven. Now, I'm thinking this will take 12 to 14 minutes because these are 55-gram balls. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna let those go for about 6 minutes, then we'll flip them. No, I shouldn't say flip them. We'll rotate them and let the other half of the pan cook in the back of the oven. Science. All right, after cooling on the baking sheet for 5 minutes, I'm finally gonna just eat one of these because I like steaming hot cookies. Let's see. I love these fresh out of the oven because they're still soft a little bit, but they got that little bit of crunch to them on the bottom. This is a winner, you gotta try it. I don't know what to say about it because it's just so good. Let's see, end of the video club, because we've made it this far. Which one haven't we done yet? I guess you just put your favorite emoji down in the comments and we'll all have like an emoji war down there. But if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the little thumbs up button, and leave a comment because that's how we fight the evil algorithm of the internet. I don't know, let me know if you try and make these. If you have any other cookie recipes you absolutely love, let me know in the comments because I'm always looking for cookie recipes. And I think I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna go eat some cookies. I'll see you guys next week.